Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Chris. Today is a request video, a video about strong, affordable, long-lasting perfumes for spring. I got the same request about 2 years ago, and once again, I had about 3 or 4 people ask me to do this video. Now, this is a super difficult topic because, well, it would be really easy to do this video if you had nothing but dupes. But my channel isn't really about that, so I try to show original creations when I can. And so finding a bunch of really long-lasting, strong, affordable perfumes that would fit into the spring category was really quite the task. I do have around 10 perfumes, maybe 9 or 10 perfumes that fit that category. If you are a return subscriber or a return viewer, you have seen me talk about most of these at some point, maybe 2 I haven't talked about in like 2 years. Others I've spoken about more recently, but they do fit the criteria. And I'm always having, thankfully, new people stop by. So if you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, you might find these helpful. Now, all of these are less than $100. Most of these are $50 or below. Now, if you are a return viewer and you enjoy my content and are not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would join my community. And if you enjoy the content, give me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow and pushes my video out to new people. And with that, I'm just gonna dive right in. So this perfume, time and time again, makes all my smell expensive on a budget, best bang for your buck video, because it's just that, and no one talks about it anymore. I think it's just long forgotten, but it is one of the best bangs for your buck in my perfume collection. It is somewhat simple, and it is, well, it's a little bit linear, and it's a designer scent. It's Roberto Cavalli Paradiso. This is the original. The bottle's really pretty. I think I paid around $35. It's very, very heavy, very substantial. And it's a super long lasting floral fragrance that has jasmine that I actually like. This is a super likable jasmine, and it's very Mediterranean in its composition because it has cypress, there's pine, there are some citrus elements, and everything together with this really nice likable, breezy jasmine translates into this very beautiful Mediterranean, like citrusy, woody floral that I absolutely love. This one, literally, if I spray on my shirt, I will smell it 24 hours later. It is a powerhouse. And another one that's really good in the same line, it is called Paradiso Assoluto. That's another fantastic fragrance that would be really good for spring. Well, I think it's pretty good year-round, but it's got wisteria, it's got a little bit of pepper, like pink pepper. It's citrusy. It has white flowers as well, so it has the same jasmine, but that one also has lily. So the florals go in a little different direction. It's a little bit spicier. It's a little bit warmer. It's a little bit richer. It's not as light. To me, it's more of a date night perfume, even though it can be worn year-round. And that one also has incredible longevity, and I'll put a picture of that bottle up on the screen. But 2 fantastic creations from Roberto Cavalli. Both are incredibly affordable, both are very long lasting, and both are fantastic for spring. I had Paradiso Assoluto, and I ended up passing it along because this one was still my favorite, even though they were both beautiful, but I didn't feel like I needed both of them. And I love to wear this one in the spring and summer. I still wear it about 2 to 5 times each year, so I really don't want to give it up. And I think, like I said, I like to show it on these videos because it's one of the best bangs for your buck. Now, another beautiful floral for the spring. I'm sitting here shivering because it's like 50 degrees where I am. But this perfume is so pretty for spring. Now, this is on the higher end for this video, but still, in my opinion, a terrific perfume. It's a beautiful designer floral perfume that I love for the spring and the summer. So this is Gucci Bloom, Ambrosia di Fiore. Yes, Ambrosia di Fiore. And this is very similar to the original Gucci. Now, I got my big bottle. This is a big bottle. I got this for, I want to say, like in between $70 and $80, and this is the 3-ounce bottle. This is for my white floral lovers. I haven't always been a white floral lover, but the white florals in here are so well done, and I first smelled this on one of my dear friends several years ago. It's really her signature scent. And I liked it a lot, enough that I wanted to purchase a bottle, but I didn't want to get the exact same scent because that was like her signature scent. And I love the scent, I love the flower honeysuckle. And I'm always looking for a perfume that has a really nice, well done honeysuckle. So when I found out that this flanker has the same Gucci Bloom DNA, but it has the addition of honeysuckle. I jumped on it. I bought it. I love it. You can definitely tell that this has honeysuckle. Honeysuckle smells like a honeyed floral to me, so it has a little bit of sweetness. So you've got that jasmine, you've got that tuberose orange blossom that I believe is in the original. Jasmine's pretty strong, but this one has a nice honeyed sweetness from that honeysuckle that I absolutely love. Great longevity, great lasting power. I have to be kind of easy on the trigger because if I spray too much, it's a little, all those white florals are a little bit overwhelming to me, but absolutely beautiful. And it's a compliment getter. So if you're like me and you live somewhere where it is still cold in the spring, or you live in another country, let's say Canada or Europe, you're going to still be pulling, or I'm going to still be pulling for my sweet, spicy, woody perfumes. And I've made no secret that I have loved Khamrah. This one to me is the more wearable version of Angel's Share. I do think there are a lot of differences between the two. This one, so it's a boozy, sweet, spicy, woody perfume. This one is not as sticky sweet. It's more wearable. I can't wear Angel Share year round. I can wear this one a lot longer because it's just not as thick and dense and rich. This one is a little bit more spicy and a little bit more woody. And so I really didn't need it, but I got the flanker because everybody was asking me what my thoughts were. So this is Khamrah Qahwa, I think that's how you pronounce it. I got it to do a side-by-side comparison. I didn't think I would keep both of them, but I couldn't believe how much I love this one, even though I really love the original. And when it comes down to it, I think I've said it in a different video, I like this one a little bit more. They are super similar, and nobody in their right mind needs both of them. They're just too similar to keep. I just happen to have both because I haven't gotten rid of this one yet. But the differences are, they still have the same core. This one has a little bit more coffee in the beginning, and it's a little bit of a bitter coffee. It doesn't last very long, and it's not overwhelming, but it definitely is a note that the original does not have. And in the dry down, this one is a little bit sweeter. This one is a little bit more vanillic, whereas the original Khamrah is a little bit more woody, and it has a little bit more spices. So they're both beautiful. They both have great longevity. They both have great lasting power. And I want to say Khamrah is running around $30, $35. This one was a little bit more when it first came out. I never saw it over than $50, but the price has probably come down a little bit. So two terrific fragrances to wear. Even if it's warm where you are, you can wear this at night for date night. Or if you live somewhere where it's still cold like it is here, these are going to be great go-tos on those really, really cold spring days. Yesterday it was like 28 degrees, so something I'd really want to pull for on those colder spring days. The next two I've talked about a lot recently in the past couple months, so I'll talk about them in this video and then I'll give them a break, but they're perfect for this category and they're perfect for this video. That's why I will show them. So the next one is Shaghaf Oud Tonka. So this is a vanilla almond tonka woody perfume. Another one that is absolutely eternal in its performance. Let me tell you, you have to be really, really careful with this one, like 2 to 4 sprays. That's it. Otherwise, oh my gosh, you're gonna choke yourself out. I can't do any more than 4 sprays because it's very, very strong. And it's very, very eternal, but you have to like vanilla and you have to love a strong tonka and almond note. It has the slightest touch of a Play-Doh vibe and maybe just a hint of a cherry. That could be the almond, but I get the slightest hint of a cherry. And it reminds me, if you took Youp, the original Youp Le Bain, if you took that perfume and Velvet Tonka and you combined them, you would come up with something very similar to Oud Tonka here, except this one is again much longer lasting and has more of a Play-Doh vibe than the other two I just talked about. Really, really good. This one was a real successful blind buy for me. I saw it on Joma Shop, loved the bottle, and purchased it. And when I got it, I thought, this smells very, very similar to the Delina sisters, namely Delina exclusive, and to a lesser extent, I would say the original Delina. The differences are, you know, it's got this rose peony thing going on. I have no idea what the notes are. I'm assuming rose, peony, and lychee, but this one does not have rhubarb, which is very, very difficult for me in the original Delina. You either love it or you don't. I'm one of those that It's just a little bit harsh for me in the beginning. As that dies down or dries down in Delina, I find Delina much more appealing. But I've always been a little bit more Delina exclusive because there's no rhubarb note and there's a lot of vanilla. I'm a big fan of vanilla. It's got a teensy bit of incense, a little bit of woods. So to me, this perfume kind of falls right in the middle. It's a little bit of both without the rhubarb and not as much vanilla. So I can see it being very, very appealing to lots of people. If you love those two perfumes, didn't have the cash or were on a limited budget and wanted something in the middle, this is the perfect combination of the two of them at a fantastic price. I want to say I paid around $50, $55 for this one. And again, that's Rosa one. The next one is another one I haven't talked about in forever, but one of my favorite perfumes in my collection as far as best bang for your buck goes. This had made so many of my small expensive on a budget video. Well, I made two of them. It made both of them for a good reason, because you do smell expensive when you wear this because it's a beautiful perfume. And I think it runs around $30. So this is Qasamat Rasana by Rasasi, and this is a beautiful citrusy woody musk. I do love the opening. The opening is very, very bright. Lots of mouth-watering citruses. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. It's got, you know, like apple, lemon. It's very refreshing, probably bergamot. So it has a real nice citrusy opening, but you do need to love citruses because they're very, very prominent. It has this musk. It's got this Middle Eastern musk that's very, very strong. It has a touch of woods. It's got a touch of the cypriol note, which to me lends kind of an earthy greenness. So these citruses are kind of swimming in this big Middle Eastern musk. And I think it's the musk which causes this to last forever. This is another eternally lasting perfume, like 10 to 12 hours. Big musk in here, and somewhere in the base it's got some woods and a little bit of cypriol. Cypriol to me smells woody, a little bit earthy and spicy. So this is, I've always described this as being kind of a Middle Eastern version of something like a Creta Ventus. So you've got this citrusy, woody fragrance, but it's got a little bit of spiciness, it's got a little bit more earthiness, and it's got this big musk that a Ventus doesn't have. So if you like one, you're gonna like the other, but they're still very different. They do not smell the same. But I would put them in the same very large ballpark, and I'm a big fan of Aventus, so it makes sense that I really do enjoy this perfume. So the next one I'm going to talk about, I haven't spoken about it in 2 years, and I almost decluttered it because I thought it was discontinued and you couldn't get it anymore, and I don't talk about perfumes that are discontinued and impossible to get on this channel. So those perfumes I don't wear. And I was about to put it up on my Mercari page, and I did an internet search and I found this perfume on some of the gray sites, so I will talk about it again. Now this perfume, it's called Courtesan. This made my first video, Smell Expensive on a Budget. It was the only video that I ever made that kind of went viral, and this perfume just sold out right after that video, and I'm so glad to see it back on some of the gray sites. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be there forever, but it just means if you're interested and you've always wanted to get your hands on this, now is probably the time. The only negative is I haven't been able to track down a decant of it. So for those who are familiar, you may have to blind buy it, and I'm not a proponent of blind buying ever, so I'm just putting it out there. But this is a fantastic perfume for a certain type of person. This is a very interesting perfume, and I found out about it from a subscriber who told me about it, who is in love with this. It's a very interesting take on a gourmand floral. So this has like a zillion notes. It's got lots of flowers. It has citruses, there's chocolate, there's cacao, pineapple, cinnamon, spices, vanilla, like red berries, musk, all sorts of notes, and they just come together to make this very pretty, very interesting, take you on a ride journey gourmand. When you first spray this, you're going to get, in my opinion, well, what I get pineapple and I get red berries. That quickly moves into the floral zone. Like, I couldn't tell you what kind of florals in here. There's this, they're kind of a little bit dense. They're these dense, I would call them classic, bordering on chypre floral thing going on in here. And then it heads into the more gourmand category. I get this dusty, chocolatey cacao. So it's like this cacao dusted, chocolate covered fruits with some florals and a little bit of musk and some sandalwood. So a very, very pretty perfume for the right person. There's something, the slightest bit, so it's classy. It might be a little bit vintagey, just a touch vintagey, because it has a little bit of a chypre flair to it. Now, I will tell you that when I smelled this, I remember thinking in the back of my mind, it reminds me, there's something in my perfume collection that reminds me of this perfume. And I found it. Now, it's not a dupe, but they're very similar in their composition, and surprisingly, they're very similar in the notes, and they are very different in price. And that perfume is the beautiful Te Amo here by Roja. I mean, there's like a 100-fold price difference between the two of them. But this one also has a lot of the same notes. This has pineapple in it. This has cacao. Loads of florals. I mean, Roja Dove is known for his very, very complicated perfumes that contain a lot of notes. So lots of flowers. I would definitely say iris. I would probably say jasmine. I'm sure there's rose in here. But again, it has some of those gourmand notes. There is chocolate, and I want to say cacao as well. I know this has cacao, and it might just have chocolate as well. So very, very similar in composition and the way they wear. This one, I would say, this one smells like old Hollywood glamour to me. This one has even more of a vintagey flair, just the slightest touch, because it's slightly more powdery. This one is slightly more citrusy, slightly, those citrusy fruits, like the pineapple red berries, comes out a little bit more in here. The florals, the dense florals come out a little bit more floral, and the dense florals come out a little bit more in here, and the flowers are more powdery, so it's ever so slightly more, I would say, vintagey leaning, but for the right person, absolutely beautiful. And I think I got this for around $45, $50. Tremendous lasting power, and a real pretty, classy perfume for the right person that would be, I think, terrific for spring. And the last one I'm going to end with, I have misplaced my bottle. This is my third video of the day, and I don't know where my bottle of Devotion is because I showed it in another video maybe about an hour ago. But the last perfume I'm going to show is called Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. It is a spectacular citrusy vanilla, and I think it runs around on the gray market, or you can get it at Joma Shop. I'll put a link below, like $70 or less for a 1.7 ounce bottle. That is a fantastic citrusy vanilla. It is not going to be staying in my collection much longer because I also have Bake by Acro. They are very, very similar. They're made by the same perfumer. They're created by the same nose, Oliver Cresp. And there's too much similarity to me to keep both. And I like Bake just a little bit more, but that doesn't mean Devotion isn't just as beautiful. They're slightly different in that if you don't like a super overly vanillic, overly gourmand perfume, Devotion might be more up your alley because it has a heavier orange blossom. That orange blossom comes out a lot more on me, so I do get a lot of orange blossom. So it's vanilla, it's citruses. I think it's like a candied lemon, which smells a little bit like orange to me. And then you have this beautiful orange blossom and vanilla, and it's just a beautiful scent. It's very, very springtime to me. It'd be great in the spring. And for a citrusy vanilla, and citruses don't typically last very long, for a citrusy vanilla, it has very, very good performance. So I think it would fit this category perfectly. It's going to be great for the spring. It's going to be great for the summer. And it has good lasting power, and it comes in under 100, even under $75. So that was it. Those are my spring picks, my affordable, long-lasting fragrances for spring. I know I don't have a ton of them. I usually show a little bit more perfumes in each video, but that's a hard category. Not a lot of perfumes fit that category, so I was happy to find some to make a video for today. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. As I said in the opening part of the video, if you are enjoying my content and not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would join my family, my YouTube family. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, so that you know when I post a video. And a lot of times I will post when companies are having a sale. I would post that on my community board, so you have to have the bell notification on to be aware of that. And also, if you're a winner in a lot of my giveaways, I have a lot of giveaways. I'm very blessed that companies send me PR, and a lot of the times I turn around and give those back to you guys. So you have to have the bell notification on to be notified that you are a winner of my giveaway. So that was it. I would love to know what you think about today's video. And if I didn't mention one, let us all know down below what your favorite affordable, long-lasting fragrances for spring are in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.